Peace to everybody out there. Thank you for watching this video. Alright, y'all. So before we watch this video, before we get started, I'm going to say take 5 seconds to think about what you're grateful for. Alright, y'all. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, y'all. So in today's video, by the title, I will be talking about the elements. I will be talking about the yin and yang and the conscious and subconscious mind. So first I want to explain this. We are all connected through energy. Energy is being sent and it gets received. Alright, y'all, so that means that energy is always coming through. So my name is Anu, and that means, and I had to really change my name to that, really understand, because we're always connected to a new energy. Frequency is always changing. We always tuning into this, we always getting this new energy, and this new energy is growth. So that's why I changed my name, y'all, for a little thing about myself. But understand this. So if energy is always being sent and received, what is frequency? Frequency is the movement of this energy. So this energy moves in all different patterns and ways, and that patterns and ways is everything that happens to you when you wake up and when you go to sleep. Like it's just, you're picking up on this frequency, and this frequency determines how you move throughout the day. Okay, so how can I really explain the elements, y'all? I really want to explain about this. The elements, the first element I want to talk about is air, your thoughts. The frequency, that's the frequency of the air element. The frequency of the water element is emotions. The frequency of the fire element is your voice. The frequency of the earth element is your eyes. Okay, y'all, so now I want to talk about the yin and yang. First, I want to explain what is the yin and yang. When you see that picture, the yin and yang, you are looking at an ancient soul. That's what a soul looks like, y'all. It looks like that. I always knew that since I was younger. I always thought souls look like bubbles, or look like big old like circles, like the earth. You know what I mean? Like a spear. So that's just my opinion, y'all, what a soul looks like. But so you're looking at an ancient soul when you're looking at the yin and yang. And this ancient soul is an angel. And that angel is giving you understanding of energy, what we truly are. Because through all this frequencies that we're given, and through all this stuff we go through, what are we truly are? Like, what is the essence of us? Is it just spirit? Is it just soul? What is it? It's energy. That is the basics of everything. That's the first thing you are. That's what you truly are. It's energy. So the yin and yang is this ancient soul that you're looking at in that picture. And the yin, that represents the receiver. And the yang represents the force. So you're using this yin and yang energy all day. So you're forcefully giving out energy by seeing things with your eyes. That's the first element. Then you see things or you feel things through your emotions. Then you're speaking things through your voice. And remember, everybody's voice is unique, but some people can mimic other people's voices because they picking up on their frequency. So the last one is the air, your thoughts. So you're forcefully sending out energy with the yang energy, and you're receiving energy with the yin energy. So you're doing this all day. You're working with the elements, y'all. So every day you're working with the elements, if you don't even know it or not. So what does it mean, and what does this all have to do with the subconscious and the conscious mind? Because we all know what the conscious mind is. Everybody has their own definition. But for me to explain it to you real quickly, the conscious mind is everything you see. It's you in this now moment. You conscious. You're aware of what you're doing. I'm speaking in this video. You're watching this video. So now, what does the subconscious do? The subconscious is just the same thing as the conscious mind, but it's just the one that stores all this energy. It's where everything is held at. So what goes beyond the subconscious and the conscious mind? It goes the observer of everything. Because we are tapped into the all-seeing, the all-knowing. That's what it truly means to be God, right? People think God is this state of consciousness of all-knowing, and you know everything about every single person, and you know everything about every matter of the earth, and you know everything, right? But you got to understand, to be God within you, the God within you knows everything about itself. It knows everything about itself. It knows how it feels. It knows every thought that comes in. It knows your voice. It knows your eyes. It knows all of the elements inside of you. But truth is, y'all, these elements that you're working with are your power. They are your power, y'all. That is the superpowers that we have aligned with us. So, how can I utilize this stuff to really tap into my subconscious and my conscious mind, the all-seeing eye? First, you have to understand that it is movement with this energy. So if you ask for something, say, I want to know about my third past life. I want to know about my third past life. Like, oh, where was I? What was I doing? Where was I at? So you just sit there and meditate, y'all. You sit there and meditate, close your eyes, get in a comfortable position, and you just ask, where was I in my third lifetime? My third lifetime before this one. What was I doing? Where was I living? What type of, what was I doing? So the way to reach this, you got to tap into your subconscious mind. So you got to first, okay, what element do you want it in? Do you want it through the air element, your thoughts? Do you want it through the water element, your emotions? Do you want it through the fire element, your voice? Do you want it through your eyes? So, first of all, before I go deeper, we all know it's 5 elements, right? We can't forget about spirit. Ether. Ether taps into what? The imagination. So how can I go to the 5th element, y'all, and really tap in? First, you got to understand you have yang type of imagination, where you can forcefully see things. I want to see an apple in my hand. An apple's in your hand now. You can see it in your mind. Okay, but what is the yin portion? This is what the secrets is. This is that's so hard to tap into. What is the yin energy that you can tap into with the visions? With the imagination. It's the visions that come through divine alignment. Sometimes I see visions and I don't even know where they came from. I know where they came from, y'all. My fault. But I don't know when they're coming. So I see these potent visions, and I'm like, dang, like, how did I see this? Like, it's not like I asked for it and stuff like that. It just came to me. You know what I mean? So that is the yin portion. That's the secret of how you tap into it. It's by divine alignment. So how can I always stay in divine alignment, y'all? First, you got to understand, you got to look in your heart and ask what you want. You have to move on your heart and do what you want to do, y'all. And some things, the things you want to do are uncomfortable. I know some people don't want to, like yourself, will tell you, oh, this day we need to meditate for an hour. Okay. You know, like this day we need to go outside more. Okay. So, you know what I mean? You got to start doing the things uncomfortable and really start to tap into the line about what you truly want to do. Because sometimes you can sit there and ask yourself, what do I want to do? Sometimes I just want to sit here and do nothing. I want to just watch it and scroll on my phone. Okay, we can do that. So that's like, you got to be understanding that you are the one that picks the frequency that you're aligning to. Remember, the movement of that frequency, the movement of the energy that you're in is frequency. Let me explain this. Frequency is the movement of you. So what does that mean? It's the movement of your energy throughout the day. So it's like, ever since you wake up, you're on this type of frequency. And every time you go to sleep, you're on this type of frequency. And through that, it's like 2 bubbles. And it's like you're just moving through them. Like it's like a line. So think about 2 bubbles, y'all. And think about a line just moving up and down and moving all directions and stuff like that. And it's all coming back to the same thing. You know what I mean? So every day is probably pre-planned, y'all. You don't see nothing for a coincidence. Anything you see with the eyes isn't for a coincidence. That's why you chose to come here and this time and this place. You chose to be here. You chose to be born in whatever year you was born in, because you knew that you was going to be able to tap into different frequencies and tap into different dimensions with your eyes. So that means everything you see has a partial truth to it. So that means that all these things that you're seeing in pictures and through AI are all real, but they're only a part of a certain portion of somebody's imagination, because we all have that, and the imagination comes from the divine. So what does that mean, y'all? That means that everything that we see through AI is technology. It's a technology that's far beyond this world. So that means that it's pulling down frequencies from beyond this world using technology and stuff like that to tap into different dimensions and stuff like that. So all the stuff we see through AI are just different dimensions, but technology is the one using it. And remember, we are just technology. Nature is just technology. Technology is just a certain type of frequency. So that means that this frequency is over here, technology, and the frequency of nature is over here. It just means it's in the same realm, but it's just in different spots, y'all. So you got to understand that about technology. So remember, in pictures and stuff like that, it's all coming from somebody's imagination. So that is one way you can use your forceful yang energy to really tap into your imagination, drawing pictures. And the way to tap into the yin energy, y'all, is just sitting there and waiting for it. You got to know when it's coming. Like, you can really say in your heart, like, okay, bro, I want to see more visions and stuff like that. It don't matter when they come, I just want to see more visions. You can sit there and imagine stuff. That's one way you can tap into it, like forcefully do it. But the way you really just gotta wait for these visions to come, y'all. You gotta wait for the divine alignment. You see them on a certain day for a reason. So every day you see a vision and stuff like that that comes from the divine, you have to write it down, y'all, because that's divine alignment. That's divine alignment. So now I passed the elements, y'all. You know what that are. You know what that is. You know what the yin and yang is. And we talked a little bit about the subconscious and conscious mind. So let me explain this a little bit deeper about the conscious and subconscious mind. So remember, the conscious mind is everything that you see you in this present moment, right now. Me talking in this video, you observing this video. And the subconscious mind is the one collecting everything around you. It sees everything, y'all. So what is beyond the subconscious and conscious mind? What's beyond that is the observer, the silent one, the all-knowing, the all-seeing. So how can I really tap into that? First, you got to understand what the subconscious and conscious mind are. Okay, and you got to get the logic behind it. Okay, so now how to tap into this all-knowing source? First, you got to sit there and wait for it. Also, you got to use tools, this duality with it too, because it's always pieces of information of light that's coming in through this type of tool you're using. So you can say, if I want to know more information about Egypt, how were the pyramids built? Then first, you got to, sit there and ask yourself, how were the pyramids built? What do you think? What does your mind tell you? Then you got to first do other research through the tools that you're given. So go to Google, y'all. Go to Google, search it up. Be like, okay, how are the pyramids built? Okay, and now your higher self, the source energy that you're connected to, is going to choose what's true or not. So the source energy is the one that decides what is true or not in your world. Certain people can look at the sky and say, oh man, the sky's blue. Some people can go out there, oh, the sky's red. Who's telling the truth, y'all? How can I tell another person what they're seeing with their earth element? How can I tell them what they're seeing with their eyes? That's the greatest mystery, y'all. We are all our own elements, y'all. We have our own element that comes from the fifth element, spirit. So the spirit creates all these elements here. Remember that. So this is my video, y'all. And I just want to say I'm thankful for anybody watching this video. Please tune in for more.